Hey everyone, it is Donna Gray here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland. And I'm coming to you live on Monday the 17th with a sneak peek of one of my layouts for my Scrap It With Me workshop that I do every month. So I hold a Scrap It With Me workshop class every month. I hold it in person. I also do it as an online an online option. And I wanted to show you something fun that I've been playing with as I've been designing these layouts for the ladies. We've got the ladies are coming on Thursday. Now you may wonder why you're not seeing Donna's face. I'm using some sun cancer cream on my face, on my forehead and down the sides of my face, and I've had some sun cancers cut out, so I'm not looking too crash hot at the moment. So for maybe a couple of weeks, you may not be seeing my face. You may just be seeing my hands, and they're not looking too crash hot either because I've got no nails on at the moment either. But I'm having a little bit of a couple of months of spending some time getting some things sorted out medically with myself. So there's lots and lots of things going on behind the scenes. But I wanted to jump on and show you what I'm doing here. And I wanted to finish off doing this layout with you guys hanging out with me because I was like getting a little bit lonely. And I thought, what better way but to come and jump on and hang out and craft with people. So I'm going to keep going ahead. I just want to explain a couple of things of what I've done here on this layout. And you'll see, as you can see down the sides here, you can see that there's some pretty crazy coloring technique down the side, and I will explain how I did that. I'll just wait for a few people to jump on. So while people are jumping on, I'm actually going to go ahead and do a little tedious job that I was doing before I jumped on, and I thought, you know what, I could be doing this and hanging out and chatting with people. So I thought, let's just have a really good casual chat and get together. So once you get the notification that I've gone live, jump on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what you're crafting on at the moment. Like, what is on your craft desk at the moment? What is your project that you are up to? Are you scrapbooking? Are you card making? Are you doing some home decor? Are you doing Christmas crafting? Type it into the comments and let me know. I can see I've got a couple people have joined. I know I didn't say that I was going to go live because I didn't know I was going to go live. Hey, Sue, welcome. So I just wanted to show you a little bit behind the scenes of what I do in my Scrap It With Me workshop kits, because a lot of people say, I'd like to do it, but I don't know really what it's about and what's involved. So what I tend to do is I try to teach people. At the moment, we've decided that we would drop it back to 2 double-page layouts every month so that we could concentrate more on different techniques and interactive pages and lots of different stuff instead of doing the 3 double-page layouts, because really we want to just learn how to do these layouts and get better and better at our scrapbooking, and it needs to be enjoyable, but we also need to be learning tips and tricks along the way. So I decided that what I would do is do more technique-based things and teach different tips and tricks when it comes to scrapbooking rather than doing the amount of pages of layouts. So these letters I've cut out of the designer series paper, and I'm now just going around with our sponge. Now, we sell these sponge daubers. They fit perfectly on your little finger. So they are easy to use, easy to handle, and are superb for doing this type of sponging. Now, the reason, hey Deirdre, hey Sue, yeah, I've had some skin cancers cut out, so I've got 3 lots of stitches. I've got 1 lot of stitches down the side of my neck near my ear. I've got another lot of stitches just on my shoulder, just where like your bra strap goes over your shoulder. And I've got another lot of stitches in my back, just where your bra strap goes across the middle of your back. So I'm I'm a little worse for wears, but I'm not in any pain. So I was when I first got it done, especially the one behind my ear or down the side of my neck. It was not much fun. I can tell you that. And I don't know whether he had to go really deep or whether there's not a lot of skin there or what it is, but I can tell you it was not nice getting the local anesthetic put in there for the first place. And then even when he went to do it, I could still feel it. So he had to give me more anesthetic. So I don't know. Anyway, um, I seem to do it every Christmas. I don't know what it is about Christmas time. I always seem to want to get sun cancers all sorted out before Christmas. And I think it's the thought of going and being in the sun and being in summer. I think I concentrate on my skin. And I mean, there's a lot of times I should have actually been to the skin cancer specialist like way before what I did this year. So I probably had a lot more work needed to be done because it had been a while. So hey Julie. So anyway, once the stitches, well, actually they do them in different these days. Well, this skin cancer doctor does. He does dissolvable stitches, so I actually don't have to get stitches out. I'm going back on Thursday just to get the results um, of the skin cancers, but he doesn't actually have to take stitches out, so that's nice, not having to get stitches out. They just automatically dissolve on their own. So so in case you've just joined, I'm just jumping on, and I decided that I wanted to hang out with you and craft with you as I finish off one of my double page layouts that I'm doing for my Scrapbook with Me workshop kits. Type it in the comments. Are you a scrapbooker, or are you somebody that wants to get into scrapbooking and doesn't really know where to start? Let me know in the comments. Are you a scrapbooker, or are you thinking about giving it a go? Yeah, I have been in the wars a little bit, Sue. So I'm hiding. So you're not going to see my face for a while. Not until I heal, anyway, because I'm looking pretty ordinary at the moment. So I'm hibernating in the house. I'm not really going too many places. I mean, the girls are going to see me this week at class, but it is what it is. And I'm sure most people, especially people around my age and older, understand the skin cancer trip. We all seem to be getting on it, but I actually have been able to use a cream this time on my face. I used to use a cream that used to find the skin cancers, and it was fantastic, and I used to do it once every 6 months, and it was great, and it kept the skin cancers at bay. But the issue was, all of a sudden, one time of using it, I developed an allergy to it. So I was allergic to it for some reason, whether they changed something in the actual cream itself, and I developed this allergy, and it was not a nice allergy, I can tell you. I came out in this horrible rash, and it was itchy, and it was definitely an allergic reaction. So I was not able to use that cream for a few years, but then they decided to try this different cream on me this time, and touch wood, it's working, and I haven't had an issue with it. Oh, okay. Sounds like you've been in the wars too, Deirdre. Glad that they've got rid of them, though. That's the good part, isn't it? Lucky that we have this wonderful world of medicine these days, that they can do things. So Sue, you've dabbled a bit with scrapbooking. Yep. And my Scrap It With Me workshop kits, they're pretty easy going. If you've done any of the Stampin' Up scrapbook workshop kits that they have, mine run very similar. So my instructions are very similar. So we cut all of our designer series paper first, and then we go ahead and assemble our pages. So they work very similar. So if you've actually tried some of them, then you won't struggle with my instructions, because I thought I would do it very similar. So as you can see, look at the edging around around that lettering, it's just made that lettering pop off the double pages. Now, the other thing that I'm teaching people to do also too is to spread your title over the two double over both the pages as well. You have to use a wheelie walker now. So Julie, are you waiting on a hip replacement? Is that what's going on? And is the wait a long wait? See, I'm in private hospital, so I'm actually getting my knee seen to. So I'm hoping that they might get a bit of action with my knee. Hoping they're going to do something either like an arthroscope to try and clean out the knee a little bit to make it not so painful. But anyway, all right, so I've done that. So as you can see, this is when we were leaving the airport in Brisbane to go to Disney World in Orlando this year on the incentive trip. And I put the disclaimer out there that 0.1% of demonstrators achieve the high levels. But this was Denny Lee and I at the airport, at the departures. We always take the departure photos. And this is actually coming into LA. When we were landing in LA, the lights were absolutely gorgeous. So Jenny took a couple of photos just as we were coming into LA, and I think we were in LA at, I don't know, something like 1 a.m. in the morning, something like that, or it might have been midnight, something like that. Had a bit of a layover there, and then made the trek then to Orlando. And I want to tell you, we had a private chauffeur because we arrived at 5 a.m. in the morning. We had a private chauffeur. So we actually had a chauffeur that came, and he actually, instead of having my name on the thing, they had Denny Lee's name on the thing. So we actually had this private chauffeur that actually came, picked us up, wheeled our bags to the car, and took us to the resort, which was absolutely, after traveling for over 24 hours, it was such a relief to actually have a private chauffeur like that. No, I didn't go to backstage, Sue. No, can't afford it. Okay, I'm just trying to get what that says. That will add to your trio pages. Okay, I'm not quite sure what. Yeah, okay. And that's the whole problem when you've got a knee issue or a hip issue. Sometimes if you've got a knee issue, it wrecks the hip. Sometimes if you've got a hip issue, it wrecks the knee. So makes it a little bit hard. But anyway, I'm just hoping that they do. I don't think I've got to have anything major with my knee. I just hope that they might clean it out. And I don't know. I feel like there's something floating around in there that seems to want to keep getting caught in the joint or something. So now with this, what I actually want to do is I want to work. I can see here that I can definitely fit the word world in here. I can definitely fit the DISN here and the EY. So when the two pages are together in the album, it will spread across and do the word Disney. So what we actually need to do is we need to put the E and the N very close together, because when the book when it's in, yeah, I know, Deirdre, I know. And I was so jealous. I so wanted to be there. I was so, I had the old, green with envy. I can tell you, I just wish I had a money bank that I would be able to pay for things, to go to things like that. But when you live on your own and you only have an income from Stampin' Up, it's a little bit hard. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put that E on first, and I'm just going to use my liquid glue. Now, I would typically probably use a ruler in this state, but because I've actually got a little bit of warping of the cardstock because of the background that I've done here. Now, you may be looking at that background thinking that that background is designer series paper. It is actually not designer series paper. It is a background that I have done myself. Now, does anyone want to guess how I actually did that background? Can anyone guess how they think I got that look to happen in the background there? So I'm now going to work from that E. I'm going to work with my Y, and we will pop our Y in there. Now, luckily we have some designer series paper here that has a pattern on it. So I can keep all of these letters straight by the pattern on the paper there. Okay. Yes, my health is more important, and I was in the middle of doing all of those things. And because I didn't go to backstage, I was thinking to myself, that's a perfect time, November and December. Things quietened down a little bit with my work, but it was a perfect time to start the whole ball game going with the doctors and x-rays and specialists and you name it. So I get to see the knee specialist on Thursday morning this week. Now, I've got to drive to Brisbane and I've got to be in an appointment at 8 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going to have to leave here at 6 a.m. in the morning to get to that appointment, because I'm driving to Brisbane to a private hospital there to see a specialist to hopefully get some news that they might want to do something with my knee. Only knowing my luck, they'll probably go, no, there's nothing much we can do about it. It's just a little bit of arthritis. It's not just a little bit of arthritis. I'm 56 years of age, and constantly, anytime I do any bit of exerting exercise, my knee blows up like a balloon. So there's got to be some reason in there why that knee wants to keep blowing up like a balloon. All right, so I'm just using that line along the bottom to line those letters up and pop them on. And you can see that sponging along the edges has really helped with getting that title to stand out on our page. Okay, so we've got that. And using the liquid glue is fantastic because you've got that wiggle room to be able to get your letters to sit exactly where you need them to be. Okay, so let's do the last one, which is the D. So we've got that side done. Perfect. Okay, so you can see how awesome is that looking. All right, so now with the N, we're going to have to line the N up, and I've got no line over this way. So, so the issue that we've got here, and I'm probably going to end up hiding down in here behind these letters because of where it is. But I wanted to fit Disney there, and then I just wanted to put something like Orlando, like an abbreviation. So someone from America might be able to tell me what I could have put there, because I wanted everyone to know that it was Disney in Orlando, not Disney in California, because it's Disneyland in California and it's Disney World in Orlando. So there is a difference. Well, when I say there is a difference, there's not a difference. I mean, there is as far as the size, but does everybody know that Disneys are the same everywhere? That the castle looks the same, everything looks the same. I remember when we were at Disney World, there was a lady that I know from the girls' hockey, and she was at Disneyland in Japan, I think it was. And like, not a word of a lie, she had the same videos as us, like with the fireworks and everything over the castle and everything. And I'm like, is she here? Like, are we in the same place? And we didn't know it, but she was actually in Japan. And it was quite amazing to see that it looked like the same place. Okay, so I'm now going to eyeball here. So I've got this one lined up here. Okay, so I'm now going to eyeball, and you can see it's just below that line on that designer series paper. So I will be able to line it up again on this side, which is really good. So I'm just going to do my eye there, and hopefully I'm spelling this all right. Oh, and I might be able to be in between the D and the I. Well, only my legs are going to get covered up, so that's all right. You can still see me in the photo. I thought when I had to stretch it over there, I'm like, oh, and I already had those photos put down, so I couldn't move the photos up higher. It would have been nice if I could have moved the photos up higher, but I couldn't do that because they were already stuck down. But anyway, it's all good. You're only going to miss seeing my feet, so that's okay. All right, so there we have the Disney World going right across those 2 pages. So you can see there. So I've done a fair bit of, so does anyone know how I did the background here? So while we're waiting, so you can see here, I've got a nice background there. Anyone want to have a guess how I did that background? Okay. So our photos are going to go there. So I'm going to pop those down. Type it into the comments how you think I did that background. Okay. Let's pop this down. Now I do have, I am actually using the coordinating bundle that goes with this. I will actually go, I'm going to go and grab it off my table out in my living room. All right, so I'm just going to pop that one down there. Sue, nope. How did you do it, please? Okay. Hang on and I go and grab the bundle. So I've only got to glue that one down there. And then I'm probably going to add some flowers and things as an embellishment, but I'm not going to do that this afternoon. So these are in the new packaging. So we're starting to roll out the new packaging with our products. So you can see here we've got these two go together. So we've got Words of Beauty and we've got the dies that go with it. And then I've got the Petals of Beauty, which is the designer series paper I've been using here, and the Petals of Beauty dies that go together. Deirdre said, did you do sponging and stamping? No, I've sponged just the edge of all of my, you can see here, all of my matting layers. I've sponged the edge. I've also sponged the edge down here on this one. So you can see down the edges here, I've sponged the edge of that designer series paper down there. This background is done by using your glass mat, so the glass mat that I have here, and by adding a little bit of ink on your glass mat, spritzing it with a water spray, and then what you do is you've got like a puddle of inky mess on your glass mat. Now you could do this with a silicone mat. If you don't have the glass mat, you could do it with a silicone mat, but you end up with like an inky puddle of ink and water mixed together. And then what I did was I just went like that and just touched around the edges like that, and you end up with this gorgeous look. So it is really nice to get a nice rustic type of look, and each time it's going to look different. Totally, each time it's going to look different. So every time you do it, it's physically going to look different. Now, the only thing that I can say about it is because I've used the two-toned cardstock, it has made the two-tone cardstock buckle up a little bit. But once you put it into your scrapbook folder, it's going to straighten it out. So once you put it into your sleeve in your scrapbook folder, it's definitely going to smooth it out. So it's going to be okay. But look at how gorgeous that texture is. So it gave a little bit of texture in behind, and it was so easy to do. So easy to do. So glass mat, ink, spritzing with a bit of water spray, and then you just dab the cardstock down in it. Do you want me to show you how to do it on a little scrap bit of cardstock? Would you like to see how it's done on a scrap bit of cardstock? Because I can do that. So that's my double page layout, and I will probably pop maybe a nice little array of flowers down here, possibly some flowers up there. I could do a little bit of journaling, so I could do a little bit of journaling up there and maybe some flowers down here. They always say to do them in like triangles. Okay, so if I was going to do any embellishments, I'd probably pop some flowers here, and some flowers here, and that way then you've got that triangle happening. I'm such a clever cookie. Do you think so? Do you want me to show you how to do it? So type it in the comments, let me know. Do you want me to use a scrap bit of paper and show you how I did it? Sue's going, yes please, yes please. All right, hang on, I grab a scrap of the paper. I nearly ran over Theo trying to get back into the craft room. The crafty cat's trying to, oops. And then my chair just went down crazy. Don't know what's going on there. I just was trying to get back. Whoop, my chair's going to keep going down crazy. That's a bit weird. I think I'm going to have to sit in it carefully. Every time I sit in it, it wants to go down low. Oh, there we go. All right, so I think I'm slowly going down. All right, so I've got a scrap here. So let's move that out of the way. Got a scrap here. So all I did was I inked up straight down onto my mat. Okay, so that's crumb cake ink, inked up straight down on the glass mat. I've got our spritzer, so we have these spritzers, and I'm going to spritz with water and make that like a puddle. Okay, we've got a puddle of ink right there like that. And then what we do is we just go into that puddle of ink. Okay, and we go around and you get this awesome look on your card. Now you could even go into the middle and look at that. We've got a background that is absolutely gorgeous. How easy is that? It is such a simple technique. Let's do a little bit more. And you can actually really concentrate where you want it to be. Sorry, the kids outside are being loud and noisy at the moment. But look at that for an awesome background. You could do it on layers for cards. You could get this gorgeous, beautiful look by actually just a little bit of ink on your desk. So that was actually how I did that. So looks easy but messy. Like, honestly, it's not that messy. And then wipe up your... Done. Totally done. Didn't really get much ink on my fingers. Not much at all. But there you go. Now, I would typically then set them aside. Now, if you have like a big clear block, it probably might be a good thing to pop a clear block on it for it to dry. And I would typically, if you were going to do it, I would typically leave it there overnight if you want to. And I think when I come out tomorrow, I'll be able to pick those blocks up and that'll be nice and flat. And yeah, but that's as easy as it is. And it gives a really good effect. So what you need to do is you need to be using something that's very similar to the color that you're using. So this is very vanilla two-tone cardstock, and it is the dark side of very vanilla that I've used. And then just use crumb cake on it as well. So so keeping in a similar tone to what you're using, a little bit of color, but you don't need a lot of color, but it just gives that gorgeous background. So that is what I actually do when I do my Scrap It With Me workshop kits. I actually do something like a technique, or we use flip flaps, we do interactive pages, we spread titles across the double pages. So there's lots and lots of things. We've got tearing techniques, we've got sponging with the dauber, but you can see it gives you a really nice effect. And there's one double page layout I've just got to embellish and I'm done. So so who thinks that they might want to give that technique a little bit of a go, like just with a little bit of ink on it? Now, as I said, you could do it on a silicone mat as well. So if you've got a silicone mat out there, you could spray it onto your silicone mat and do it. Some people use Glad wrap, you know, like the Glad wrap, put Glad wrap down on their bench, put the ink on the Glad wrap and do it. You can do it many different ways, but that was the main thing, is making sure that you've got a really nice, good puddle of ink. to be able to do it in. So so I'm sure the girls are going to get nice and messy this week when it comes to doing their layout. So that will be the first thing I'll get them to do before they even cut their cardstock. I will get them to do their background on their pages first, and then we'll be able to set them aside and let them dry. The beauty of this two-tone cardstock, it dries really quickly. Not like our normal cardstock will take a lot longer to dry because this is a little bit thinner. So yeah, give it a go, Sue. I'm telling you, it looks gorgeous. As you can see, even just with these, you could have some really nice backgrounds for the front of your card as well. And then even what would look even better is to actually bling it up a little bit with a bit of gold as well. I did a technique in our basic foundations of card making this morning that is absolutely to die for. And I'm just thinking the technique on that would actually make it look absolutely superb with some gold embossing on it. But there you go. So thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for having a bit of a chat with me. If you're watching back the replay, please drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Tell me what you think about this coloring technique in the background, whether it's something that you would think that you would like to have a go. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please hit that thumbs up button, because YouTube and Facebook love it when you do that. So thank you very much. And as I said, once again, I apologize for not showing my face, but as I said, with doing the skin cancer round, it's not looking real pretty at the moment. So once I get back looking glamorous again, I will show my face again. But this is what you're going to see for the next couple of weeks, is just my work. So you're not going to actually see me. But thanks everyone for hanging out with me, and I will see you all again soon with a 10 cards in 20 minutes, because I got one of those episodes coming up with you as well. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you all again soon.